As the Congresswoman has said, I'm Ned Norris Jr. I'm the chairman of the Philadelphia Nation. Since time immemorial, the Sonoran Desert has been the homeland of the O'odham. We have a deep and spiritual connection with this land. When this harmony is disrupted, our well-being is threatened. This is why we are deeply concerned about the harmful impacts of the Rosemont Mine. Some may wonder, why should the concerns of a Native American community that is located some distance from the proposed mine matter? Well, when you think about the location of the Rosemont Copper Project, it is on the ancestral lands of my people. The O'odham believe that we are descendants of the Hohokam. And if you look at and understand the ancestral lands of the Hohokam and the O'odham, you'll know that those lands include where this particular development is being proposed. Also, that the concerns that we have with regards to ancestral lands is that the lands would be destroyed. There are cultural and archaeological sites containing numerous funerary objects, sacred objects, and other archaeological and cultural items, as well as permanently altering the culture and natural landscapes of the area. I don't think there's any question that as a descendant of the Hohokam and the O'odham, that we have a significant and a rich history of living in this area. And so when we think about archaeological sites, and we think about funerary objects, and we think about those ancestors that dwelled in this area and that died in this area, those are important to us, and those are really the major concerns that we have with this particular development. When we look at the whole mountain range in this area, you'll know, I can share with you that the mountains that we refer to as the Santa Ritas, in all of them, it's in the area where we call Babak Thoak. In this particular mountain area, it's referred to as Chewy Thoak. In other words, that kind of translates into long, wide mountains. Our people have legends, we have history, we have stories about the mountain ranges. And those stories and legends we continue to share with our young people today.
I'm Bill Doley, and I'm president of the Center for Desert Archaeology. Center's mission is to preserve the places of our shared past. We're a local partner of the National Trust for Historic Preservation, and our perspective is that this proposed Rosemont Mine would be an inappropriate expenditure of irreplaceable resources at a time when that really does not need to happen. That landscape out there is a very special place. It has pushing on to 5,000 years of the prehistoric record. Tucson is very famous for being the place where the earliest agriculture in the United States has been documented recently. Rosemont has some of the oldest residential areas, actual pit structures that have been documented out there of the folks who were living here before the first farmers were active here in the Tucson area. Preservation is a very long-term perspective. Sustainability is a key word these days. So preservation of archaeological sites is very much in that long-term kind of framework. We have learned just in my short career, almost 40 years now here working in the Sonoran Desert, we have learned so much in terms of new information, new approaches to archaeology, and if you project that forward to 100 years or 200 years and take a long-term perspective, what can be learned about these places in that kind of time frame by people in the future is a tremendous leap forward from what we can probably even imagine these days. Archaeologists work with the material remains that are on the ground or in the ground. And here in the Tucson Basin, this is one of the typical painted pottery vessels from the time period when the ball court would have been in use out in the proposed Rosemont area. Can I tell where things are made? We can actually talk about exchange of a vessel like this one made in the Tucson Basin out to the proposed Rosemont area. I've got an axe that has been crafted out of a very hard stone. It has a groove through it. It would have been hafted with a wooden handle. When fields were cleared, this is the kind of tool, probably using fire as well as an additional aid. Mm-hmm. So these tell us some of the very important things about daily life in that time when the ball court would have been active. The place would be destroyed, and again, the values, the importance of creating in a landscape like this, where people could conceivably visit these locations of the past and actually experience them in a relatively natural setting. Mm-hmm. The investments that have been made in looking at regional heritage tourism. Why would we want to give up such a special place as this to, in a very short-term perspective? So there's a long-term potential, economically, intellectually, and the importance of these places to the Tohono O'odham and the tribal ancestors or descendants of these Hohokam occupants of this area are all very important things that have to be taken into consideration.
All societies value and cherish places that tell a story of their ancestry. And you tell those stories of your ancestry to your future generations. Think for a minute of those places that are culturally and historically significant to you. And then imagine 20 plus years of excavation, 20 plus years of blasting and application of harmful chemicals to leach out minerals of that place. Think in your own minds how that's going to impact those things that are culturally important and significant to you, to all of us as a people. And then you will begin to understand why the Tohono O'odham Nation are opposed to the Rosemont Mine. I'm happy to share with you that a couple of days ago, our Tribal Legislative Council formally passed a resolution in opposition of the Rosemont Mine. We all have to come together. We all have to pool our resources together in order to defeat this desecration of this area.